It was late June, the kind of summer night where the air feels heavy, but the crickets sound almost deafening. My girlfriend, Anna, and I had rented a small cabin for the weekend in rural Pennsylvania. We both worked long hours, and this was supposed to be our quiet break from everything. The cabin sat on the edge of a field, tall grass swaying in the warm breeze, a tree line about 200 yards out. When we first arrived, I noticed the barn in the distance looked off, like it was leaning slightly, one side sagging toward the earth. Anna pointed at it. That thing looks like it's been there forever. Probably since before this place had electricity, I joked. Around 10:30 p.m., after dinner, we decided to take a short walk. The moon was almost full, casting enough light that we didn't need flashlights. Halfway across the field, we both heard it, a sound like dry grass parting, but heavier. Anna whispered, "Do you hear that?" Yeah. It stopped when we stopped. The field suddenly felt wrong. We went back to the cabin quicker than we'd planned. At 1:14 a.m., I woke to a faint tapping. It wasn't on the front door. It was on the back wall of the cabin. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps again. I sat up and listened. Anna was still asleep. When I looked out the back window, the moonlight lit the field enough for me to see movement near the tree line. It was too far to make out details, but someone or something was standing there. The next morning, we decided to explore the barn in daylight. Inside, the air was damp and smelled of rot. Dust floated in streaks of sunlight through gaps in the roof. There was a ladder leading up to a loft. Anna said, "Let's check up there." When we did, we found something odd. An old, weathered chair facing a small window that looked directly at our cabin. That night, I kept imagining someone sitting up there, watching. The second night, around 11:50 p.m., I stepped outside alone to smoke. The crickets were loud again, but then they stopped, completely. That's when I heard it. A man's voice, faint but clear, calling from somewhere in the field. It wasn't calling my name. It was saying, "I'm over here." Anna opened the door behind me. "Who are you talking to?" I shook my head. "No one." I didn't tell her what I'd heard. At 2:40 a.m. the tapping started again, but this time, it wasn't at the back wall. It was on the front door. Slow, deliberate. I grabbed my phone and recorded as I walked toward the door. When I looked through the peephole, I froze. It wasn't a face. It was the top of someone's head. Whoever it was, they were tall. I stepped back, and the tapping turned into pounding. Anna shouted, "Call the cops!" Before I could, the pounding stopped. When I finally worked up the nerve to look out the window again, the figure was back at the tree line. But now, there were 2. They stood completely still for what felt like minutes. Then, without a sound, they both turned and walked into the trees. At sunrise, we packed up and left. We didn't even bother cleaning the dishes. On the way out, we passed the barn. From the road, I could see the loft window. The chair was still there, and this time it wasn't empty.